The second senior to be honored today is number 6, Darian Clay. A transfer from LaSalle University, Darian made his presence felt in his first campaign on the Harbor campus. In 13 games played, Darian has anchored the Beacons' defensive third, causing crucial turnovers in key LEC conference matchups. Coming into today's contest, he has picked up 23 ground balls, he has a pair of goals, and an assist to his credit as well. The one-time LEC Defensive Player of the Week, hailing from Newton, number 6, Darian Clay. Our third senior to be honored today, number 8, Gavin Admirand. The very first player to earn All-American honors in UMass Boston Lacrosse, Gavin has been a force for the Beacons' attack since transferring to UMass Boston. He needs just 1 point to become only the second player in program history with 300 career points. He is just 13 points away from breaking the all-time points record of 311, which has stood for nearly 3 decades. In his career, Gavin has combined for 183 goals and 116 assists in just 48 games played. Hailing from Marshfield, number 8, Gavin Admirand. The fourth senior to be honored today is number 13, Jack Ranta. A talented and physical long-stick midfielder, Jack will be appearing in his 64th career game this afternoon. During that time, Jack has registered 79 ground balls and 47 caused turnovers to become one of the most consistent midfielders in program history. Last season, he played a crucial role in the Beacons' run to their second straight LEC Conference regular season and tournament championship. Hailing from Newton, number 13, Jack Ranta. Our fifth senior to be recognized this afternoon, number 17, Patrick Colburn. One of the Beacons' top defenders, Patrick will be appearing in his 47th career game this afternoon. During his time at UMass Boston, Patrick led the Beacons to 2 undefeated LEC conference records, 2 regular season LEC championships, and 2 LEC tournament titles. He has worked tirelessly to become one of the top defenders in program history. Hailing from Walpole, number 17, Patrick Colburn. Our sixth senior to be honored today is number 21, Trevor Copy. The backbone to the Beacons lineup since his arrival in Boston. Trevor will be stepping between the pipes for the 43rd time in his career this afternoon. His 1,626 minutes of playing time is the 6th most all-time in Beacons program histories. His 28 victories are the 2nd most all-time. Last season, Trevor set a new program record for wins in a season with 13, as he led the Beacons to their 2nd straight LEC crown. Hailing from Attleboro, number 21, Trevor Copy. Our 7th senior to be honored today, number 22, Mick Flynn. A standout 4-year member, Mick has posted 30 goals and 14 assists in 39 games played. A key contributor in the growth of the Beacons lacrosse program, Mick has worked tirelessly to earn the respect of his coaches and teammates. A versatile player, Mick has made an impact on both sides of the ball during his 4 years on the Harbor campus. Hailing from Bellingham, number 22, Mick Flynn. Our 8th senior to be honored today is number 24, Connor Smith. A 1-year member of the program, Connor has made an immediate impact this season. A starter in all 15 games, Connor has registered 45 goals and 17 assists, placing him 2nd on the team offensively. A threat on special teams, Connor has registered 6 man-up goals and 2 man-down goals. Hailing from Oakland, Maine, number 24 and number 1, Connor Smith. We're getting there, guys. Our ninth senior to be honored today is number 29, Zach Mann. Appearing in his 49th career game this afternoon, Zach has made himself one of the most consistent and reliable players on the Beacons roster. During his 4 seasons, Zach has netted 23 goals and has picked up 18 assists while also collecting 34 ground balls. During the Beacons' run to an LEC title, Zach posted a career-high 6 goals last season in the conference win over Salem State. Hailing from South Hadley, number 29, Zach Mann. The 10th senior to be honored today is number 33, Jason McNeely. In his 2 seasons as a member of the Beacons roster, Jason played a key role in UMB's run to a 2022 conference championship. He appeared in all 20 games last year and was one of the top face-off men, posting 154 face-off wins and 115 ground balls. He currently needs just 7 face-off wins for his 300th in his career, and he sits with 191 career ground balls. Jason also has 10 goals to his credit as well. Hailing from North Attleboro, number 33, Jason McNeely. And our final senior to be honored today is number 42, Colin Ford. A presence both on the field and on the Beacons broadcasting network. Thanks, Colin. Colin optimizes what it means to be a teammate. In his 4 years on the Harbor campus, Colin has appeared in 36 games with 10 goals and 13 assists during that stretch. He has posted 28 ground balls. His team-first mentality has earned him the respect of his teammates, and his dedication has helped elevate the Beacons lacrosse program to new heights. Hailing from Worcester, number 42, Colin Ford. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me one more time in congratulating the senior members of your 2023 Beacons lacrosse program.
Yeah, it's just dark. We just gotta roll with it.
All right, and welcome back live, folks, to the press box here at James Cotter Field. It is senior day for your UMass Boston Beacons. We just got through our ceremonies. I'm trying to catch my breath as we hop back into it, but it is another LEC conference matchup coming up for your Beacons. They've lost their last two contests against arguably the two best teams in the Little East Conference. Both of those games followed the same script. The Beacons fell behind early. They were able to make it close at halftime and fell out flat in the third quarter. It's a different opponent today in the ECSU Warriors, and a team that has been fluctuating over the course of this season. 2 games ago, they were victorious against Castleton, 19-9, looking very good in the process. But their last game earlier this week against Mass Maritime Academy, they came out flat, scoring just 7 goals, losing 18-7. So the up and down season, we're in the middle of it for both teams here. The Beacons wanting to start senior night with a bang, and it's Jason McNeely in his final regular season home game for the Beaks in the center face-off circle right here, lining up against Rick O'Neill. O'Neill, a sophomore out of East Hartford, Connecticut. Team's second face-off man on the season. He's won more face-offs than he has lost. He's only taken 84, but he's won 44 of those 84 draws. So it's McNeely and O'Neill in the circle, and McNeely couldn't get a clean scoop on it first. O'Neill is there, but it's actually scooped up by Ryan Stocks of the Warriors. And so we are underway 1-for-1 for Rick O'Neill in the face-off circle, and it's going to be the Warriors taking their first stab on offense. Oliver Seal, not the best flip pass over there to Zachary Apollone. We expect to see a lot of number 4. Really covers both sides of the midfield zone very well for this Warriors team. 15 goals on the season to go along with 10 assists, 3 caused turnovers, 13 ground balls as well. Garrett Lapham, this is the team's current leading scorer. No Bryson Kennedy today. Kennedy came in, pacing the team with 21 goals, but Lapham, you see him wearing number 25 there at the 40-yard line. He's second on the team with 17 goals. Right-handed dodge. Colin Ford now stepping up on Quinn O'Connor. Big body check in the middle by Pat Carey. Jack Ranta adding some support, but that's scooped up by Lapham. No, it's not. Pat Carey with the great stick check, and he looks for the clear. Carey just loping towards his right. He has Luke Murphy right in the middle of the field, and so the Beacons 1-for-1 on a defensive stop and a clear. Ford back to Murphy, to Banks in a dangerous spot, and he tucks it right in, bounces it through the 5-hole, beating Nick Colazzo and Jacob Banks for the 24th time this season. Pardon me. No, don't count it. That was a crease violation. I believe that was the call against Banks. So pardon me, that was away from the play. It's going to be an offsides. Sorry, so no goal. Take that one off the scoreboard for Jacob Banks. Pardon me, I'm sorry. Wipe out the offsides. Okay, so I'm sorry about that, guys. So count it. Jacob Banks does score. All right, and he does score his 24th goal of the season. A lot of hubbub right there after the play. But Luke Murphy picking up the assist on the Banks goal. Very good ball movement there for the Beaks, and they're back with it now after that offsides was waved off. So it was going to be a penalty against the Warriors. Instead, count the goal for Banks. That pass for Murphy, a step out in front, but he's back to it. Mick Flynn joining the offensive attack here, and Connor Smith seeing his first action of the afternoon as well. Beacons leading 1-0 thanks to the Jacob Banks early goal. He's in a dangerous spot there. And that pass was intended, I believe, for Zach Mann slipping behind the net. He just didn't field it cleanly. It goes out of bounds, and ball goes back to ECSU. ECSU, not the best in terms of man-on defensive pressure. They've only caused 120 turnovers on the season, whereas they've committed 162. Successful clear for them here has Oliver Searle, once again dropping it right off for Zachary Apollone. And we see Matt Laverty joining the fray defensively as well. Jonathan Bernier looks down low to his left with Rick O'Neill. We see him in the face-off circle sometime for the Warriors. He's wrapping it around the net. Mike Stevenson with it. Nice stick check there. Momentarily dispossesses it by Colburn. Stevenson got it back. And now Lapham all the way back out to Apollone. Head first start here on the dodge in. Working on Justin McCullough. He decides to reverse field back to Garrett Lapham. Quinn O'Connor. This is our first look at Tim Lychek. Solid goal scorer. He's got 18 goals on the season. Actually second Just 3 assists for Lychak here. He tries to take on 2 big Beacons. Pat Carey looked to have worked the dispossession cleanly. Instead, there will be a hold called. I believe that's going to be against Nolan Beauregard. So 60 back on the shot clock here for ECSU. They get the benefit of that holding call against Beauregard, and now Lapham. He had Lychak to his right. He takes it back in the corner. Nolan Beauregard getting some extended minutes in the defensive zone here. Lapham's pass in towards everybody. It's still loose, and finally Copy corrals it down low. That's the first test Trevor Copy has seen in the first 3 minutes of action. And now Matt Laverty, head full of steam. No one picking him up yet. Now he finally peels it back at around the 24-yard line here. Connor Smith waiting to come on. Jacob Banks, quick pass to McCullough. Justin McCullough down low. And Jacob Banks with a goal and now an assist as it's the long stick midi of all people. Justin McCullough sneaking behind the defense. He gets the pass from Banks, slots it in. For Justin, that is goal number 1 on the season. Waited till the last possible game to get his home regular season goal, but it's McCullough from Banks, and the Beacons lead 2-0 early on here at Connor Field. Beacons got to love that start here at the midfield of Connor Field, and a face-off violation gives the ball back to the Beaks again. Evan Twombly, he's going to stay in the offensive zone here, so let's see if Luke Murphy works his way. A pick set by McNeely. Oh, Murphy for a split second was around the dodge. Ryan Stocks, a great play on the backside there, just knocking the stick right out of Murphy's hands. Luke was working with something just then. He gets the turnover caused against, and now the Warriors 2 for 2 on clears today. Oh, but they turn it over right there. Here comes Banks in the threatening spot. 1-on-1 with Collazo, and he scores. Jacob Banks defensively was at the right place at the right time. He takes his time, and he beats Collazo, and Jacob Banks has had his hand on all 3 goals in the early going this afternoon. We've played 3.5 minutes. The Beaks are leading 3-0. Two Jacob Banks goals already. This one he does unassisted after getting the turnover. Big hit taken in the middle of the field by Matthew Lucosi, but Jack Ranta delivers the boom and unfortunately looks like retaliates outside of the rules there. But instead, the slashing penalty is going to go against the Warriors there, so that was separate from the play. Big hit delivered by Ranta. He gets some high fives from his teammates. The man in the box is number 20, Dominic Scorano, a D fielder out of Berlin, Connecticut. Plays some D, some midi. He's in the box for a full minute for a slash. So the Beacons already leading 3-0 can really put their foot on the throats of the Warriors in the early going here. Smith to Admirand. Gavin hasn't even touched the ball yet, and the Beacons are already up 3-0. Smith, laces the pass through, and Banks hits the post. It's still loose. Admirand scoops and scores! Gavin Admirand! We've seen him score a lot of goals like that this season, just following the loose ball, tipping it into the net. Ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful way to earn the 300th career point for Gavin Admirand. He does it, scoring his 58th goal of the season. Right place, right time, right result. And folks, it's 4 minutes, 4 goals for the Beacons here on Senior Day. Admirand scoring his first of the game and his 58th of the season. That also, folks, that has Gavin Admirand now just 12 points away from the Beacons' all-time career mark, and you got to figure with playoffs coming around the corner and another regular season game at Castleton after this, that mark is well within reach for Mr. Admirand. Murphy spinning. Murphy, quick pass down low to Banks. He was there. It gets past him. Great late effort there by Zach Mann, but he can't win possession back. Nice stop for the Warriors as Cody Brown started to walk it up down the right sideline, opts to pass it back to Oliver Searle. Searle has been tasked with the clearing duties quite a bit for ECSU. ECSU was 2 of 2 on the clear. That's going to be a delayed penalty flag against the Beacons. This might be an offside call. Have to wait and see as the flag is on the field right now. Zachary Apollone gets his second look here, dodging from deep in the offense. Gets a great crossfield pass in. Big shot, better save from Trevor Copy, as that was Quinn O'Connor stepping into the long one. Copy wins the race to the ball and will go back the other way. No, we won't. Pardon me. I forgot about that delayed flag on the field. It is an offside, so it's going to be a 30-second penalty, and it's either Smith or Mezawar, the guilty party. Yeah, Connor Smith takes a kneel in the sin bin, so he gets called for the offside. Connor does kind of equal duty of attack and midfield. And there we have it, a 60-second technical penalty against Connor Smith. He was deep in the defensive midfield zone there. I heard players on the Beacons bench tell him he was on. A lot of the times the offsides happen because of miscommunications with the bench. That might have been what happened to Connor there. It will be a 60-second technical offside against Smith. And so a full minute with a man up for the Warriors. Apollone and O'Connor. They go over to Tim Lychek. We'll call that a shot attempt, so it will stay with the Warriors walking it back in. Garrett Lapham passes it over to Tim Lychek. Back to Lapham. Deep around the perimeter. Nice spin move shown there by Warren Channing. Back across to Apollone. To O'Connor. We saw him take a rip from out there last time. That pass over the head of Warren Channing. And Connor Smith is going to be in the penalty box for one more second, but that's a penalty killed off rather easily by the Beacons. The Warriors were able to get one look inside to Channing, and he wasn't ready for the pass. But talking about Warren Channing, he's the reigning Rookie of the Week in the LEC for these ECSU Warriors. 3 goals apiece in his last 2 contests. Coming into action today, tied for second on the team with 18 goals to go along with 6 assists. Beacons work the stop, but that pass over the head of Charlie Chapman. He's able to retreat and get it without much trouble. Maybe thought about dodging on his own before handing it off to Liam Bowler. Bowler, left-handed dodge, eyes towards the net. He fakes the pass back, and he keeps the dodge alive. Now back to Chapman. Charlie, 25 goals on the season. He has Admirand in the slot. The toss back to Chapman. Let's see if Charlie wheels it back to his right. He loves that right-handed angle dodge, getting a shot off. Powerful right-handed shot. Instead, he opts to fake the pass back to Admirand, hand it off to a cutting Banks. Banks reverses direction. Banks, low shot, and he's already got a hat trick, folks. 6.5 minutes of lacrosse, and Jacob Banks came to play this afternoon. Whether it's on the hockey ice or on the lacrosse turf, he scores goals, and for the 3rd time today and 26th time this season, it's Jacob Banks finding Twine, and the Beacons lead it 5-0. Admirand getting the assist on that one, so 2 points on the previous 2 goals here is Rick O'Neill winning his second faceoff of the contest for ECSU. Getting possession hasn't been a problem for ECSU. It's stopping the Beacons once they're in the defensive zone, and only 2 shots on goal so far for the Warriors as we're about 7 minutes into this contest. 8:19 on a running clock to be exact. The Beacons leading 5-0. Jacob Banks, 3 of the 5 Beaks goals. Admirand and Justin McCullough adding the other 2. And now Luke Murphy, he has an assist this afternoon, looks off in the direction of Admirand. Quick pass to Mann. Mann didn't have the angle on the shot. He reverses field. And now Gavin. Back to Connor Smith. That left side of the field just loaded with senior talent right now as Smith gets around his mark to Admirand. What a bouncer! Low to high! He puts it on the turf with a little English and finds the top left corner. And the Beacons' hot scorers exploding right now. We are 7:01 into this contest. Beacons leading 6-0 for the 2nd time today and the 59th time this season. That's Admirand finding Twine. He now has 302 career points. He's 1 goal away from 60 on the season. We have a timeout on the field. Probably felt that coming for ECSU. We look at the scoreboard right now. Phenomenal start offensively and defensively for the Beaks. 7:58 left to go in the first quarter. Beacons 6, Warriors nothing. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you on LittleEast.tv. Well, welcome back to James Cotter Field. We're here in our broadcast perch, and it's a lovely view out on the playing field right now as the Beacons off to a hot start on Senior Day. This is the start that they needed after two very slow starts in their previous two contests against Keene State College and WestCon earlier this week. And it's just funny to see the difference that a hot start can make for a team like the Beacons. In that game against Keene State, at one point they were behind 7 goals in the first half, and because of that, it just felt like they never were able to get the offense started. Games like today, the offense starts, and it feels like it's never going to turn off, and the Beacons cause another turnover in the zone here. These numbers, I mean, we're 7 minutes into a lacrosse game, and they're already pretty glaring with the differentials. 6 turnovers committed by ECSU, and a goal for Connor Smith, getting his senior night started with a bang for the 43rd time this season. Connor Smith finding twine and letting it rip in the process, and the Beacons have hung a touchdown on the ECSU Warriors. It's UMass Boston 7, ECSU 0. Connor Smith, he is literally the definition of a cherry on top. A new addition to the team in this offseason, here for 1 year after playing 4 years at NEC. And what a bonus he has been to the Beacons' offensive attack. He still has 53 minutes of lacrosse left today. Another game against Castleton, and then at least one playoff game. You got to think 50 goals is within reach for Mr. Smith, and we'll keep our eyes peeled towards that milestone. Just the second turnover committed by the Beacons here, as that was a lack pass, and I think it was intended for Gavin Admirand. He couldn't reach up and haul it in, but Gavin back on the defensive end, applying the pressure on Oliver Searle. Nick Colazzo now, he's joining the offensive rush here. This is a goalie listed as part-time goaltender, part-time attackman. That's a fun combo to have. There's 2 players like that on the ECSU roster. Funny enough, though, Nick Colazzo has played all but 5 minutes in net this season for the Warriors. So that's what he does. In those 835 minutes played, he is not allowed over 13 goals per contest. He's under 13. That's a good mark. 12.8 goals allowed average. His save percentage, though, well under the 50% plateau. He's only at 45% coming into action today. A shot could have been there for Dan Barron. Instead, he slips the pass over to Lychek, and Lychek has to reset to Quinn O'Connor. O'Connor, he's the only player, pardon me, for ECSU with multiple shot attempts so far this afternoon. Apolone spins. He gets around Ranta. The pick is there, but Apolone lost the ball, so nice recovery there out of Luke Murphy. Apolone back on it. Long shot, misses wide. Channing closest to it, and so it'll stay with the Warriors, but you take a look at that shot clock, just 13 remaining. Pardon me, we didn't see that, so it's going to be an offsides call against Luke Murphy here. Didn't even see the flag on the field, so my apologies on that. The Beacons 1 for 1 in man-down opportunities. This is right where that scenario started for East Con. The prior penalty, which was a Connor Smith offside, they were able to walk it into their zone. Head coach Mark Graham doesn't want to look like his team was a little bit out of sync as they were going to get that man-up opportunity started. He didn't want to waste the opportunity. He takes the timeout, and so we will as well. 6:12 left to go here in the first quarter. Still a lot of lacrosse left to be played. The Beacons leading big, 7-0. All right, we'll rejoin the action here at Cotter Field. 6:12 to go on the scoreboard here in the first quarter. And Luke Murphy in the penalty box, called for the technical offside, so it'll be 30 seconds with a man-up for ECSU for the second time this afternoon with a man-up opportunity. Winding it quickly into play is Garrett Lapham, and the ball right back in the stick of Zachary Apolone. He looks over in the direction of Warren Channing, who's come out a little bit more towards the midfield than we're used to seeing him. Apolone fakes the long shot, goes back to Lapham. Now Zachary Apolone with some room high out in front of the net. Over to O'Connor. Bernier misses that shot high. He got himself into a very dangerous shooting slot. Pulls the shot high. Still 39 seconds left, but just 9 on the Luke Murphy penalty.
6, 5, 4.
You can hear the countdown there as that shot. Big save from Copy. He goes down to his knees. He covers the ball up. He takes a shot there from a rogue ECSU stick. You can see Trevor trying to walk it off. That's tough. But he's all right, and the Beacons back on the attack as Sean Cullen, taking on Bernier, spins around and looks deep towards the middle of the field. Beauregard skies up, but it's Apollone with just an interception in the middle of the field. Now Apollone has O'Connor to his right. Quinn O'Connor. Oh, big play with the deflection, and that's Sean Cullen getting back there and helping out at the last second. 5'9", and he needed every inch of it to get his stick in the way there, but he knocks it free. And now very far away from that is O'Connor. McCullough working on him. He knocks it loose. O'Connor picks it back up. The shot clock did reset for the Warriors. Bernier, oh, great pass and a beautiful finish. It's Shane Hegarty from Jonathan Bernier scoring the first goal for ECSU. That's crisp passing right there. And Hegarty, for just the 4th time this season, deposits it into the back of the net. So ECSU, they do get one back. 10 minutes into this contest, it's Beacon 7, Warriors 1. Shane Hegarty, beautiful job. He was pretty deep in the defensive part of the midfield when that man-up opportunity started. Ultimately, Murphy was back on the field, so that's an even-strength goal. But slowly, Hegarty joined the attack, and then when Bernier drew the double team, he was able to just slip the pass right over to Shane Hegarty, who didn't waste any time putting it underneath Trevor Copy and in. McNeely, big face-off win to Murphy, and he scores! Give that one to Jason McNeely, winning the face-off, taking it right down to Murphy, and Luke Murphy depositing for the 17th time this season. Luke Murphy finding Twine from the McNeely assist, and the Beacons back up 7. It's 8-1. Jason McNeely has really been a part of this Beacons offense. That now his 3rd assist to go along with 3 goals as well. So Murphy, his 16th of the year from McNeely, and the Beacons, right after surrendering the goal to Hegarty, it only took them about 10 seconds to get one back, and they're back up 7, 8-1. O'Neal, he's looked pretty good in the face-off circle here. That one deflects, I think Cullen might have gotten his stick on that again. Pat Colburn was there applying extra defense, and so Channing's going to have to start this possession all over again from behind the net. Beacons 8, Warriors 1. Still 4.5 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Channing, 18 goals to his name on the season. The reigning LEC Rookie of the Week in his true freshman season out of Glastonbury. Slips it back to Baden Kirst. So our first look at Kirst on the dodge. Gets around Matt Laverty. Laverty with a nice recovery. And keeps Kirst off deep into the corner. Looks like they want to see a little one-on-one here out of Kirst. He does get around Laverty. Matt, great recovery, though, to knock it off. And that pass out of reach of Andrew Pendergast. Pendergast gets it back, the junior out of Southbury. Hands it off to Hegarty. We just saw Shane Hegarty score. Spins off, and that pass was right off the frame of the stick, and it's going to get to Gavin Admiran. Turnover force for the Beaks. Man is open in the middle of the field. Admiran looks his direction. Instead, passes it all the way across the Banks, and the save is made by Colazzo. What a pass from Admiran, but this ball's scooped up by Pat Carey. So it'll stay in the offensive zone for the Beaks. To Banks, who scores! Jacob Banks letting it fly. The 4th goal already for him, and probably the prettiest one. Reaches out wide, tucks it inside the top left corner, and Jacob Banks, for the 27th time this season, in just 8 1/4 games played, has found Twine. The Beacons take their largest lead of the contest. It is 9-1. So Banks from Admiran, Gavin Admiran now with 3 assists already this afternoon to go along with a goal. Banks, Admiran, and Connor Smith all playing with a purpose this afternoon as Nick Colazzo wanted to take on the Beacons defense again. This time he flips it over to Apollone, and that actually might have turned into something for the Warriors. Apollone pushed aside from Carey. Great defense at that last moment there from Carey, and the Warriors going to have to take it back to the X. Quinn O'Connor working around Colin Ford. That pass behind the intended target, Garrett Lapham. And once again, it's Pat Carey carrying it out of trouble. Turnover forced and one. And now E.T. Evan Twombly into the offensive zone. He keeps it alive, gets to Banks. Banks keeps the dodge. Looks back towards Twombly, who gets knocked from the backside. And that will be a crease violation. Look at the Beacons trying to get everybody involved there. They sold out to try and get E.T. the goal, and he might get one here, as this is turned over in the middle of the zone. Twombly passes it to Banks. It gets to him. Banks, the flip. Mezawar gets pushed from the backside. Is that a goal? Yes, it is! Carson Mezawar! Evan Twombly with the assist. Mezawar gets pushed and somehow gets the goal in. What a finish for the Beacons there. They kept that one alive, and they'll have a man-up opportunity to boot. Carson Mezawar, for the 9th time this season, finding Twine. Wow! Flag gets picked up on the play, but counted for Carson Mezawar. And this fun senior day afternoon just continues here on Cotter Field. The Beacons already in double figures. They're leading 10-1. Four goals scored by Jacob Banks, 2 from Gavin Admirand, 1 apiece from Justin McCullough, Connor Smith, Luke Murphy, and now Carson Mezawar. And Luke Murphy might be vying for 2 here. He slips the pass off to Banks. Banks, a busy first quarter, wants to get McNeely involved. He takes on 2 bodies, and then the check from Zach Mann gets it to Zach in a dangerous spot, but a great stick side check on the backside of the play from Ryan Stocks. Look at McNeely get involved. And now the Beacons with a man-up opportunity. The pass gets away from Jacob Banks, but for the first time, I believe, today, the Beacons will have a shot with a man-up. We'll wait for the call officially. This will be the second chance with a man-up for the Beaks. The Beacons weren't able to score, the Beacons are 1 for 1. It was a slash committed earlier. It's a slash committed again by ECSU. And so the Beacons, with 2 minutes left in the period, get a nice minute with a man up. Liam Bowler having himself a nice junior season. Over in the direction of Connor Smith. Chop step to Admirand. Low shot and a nice read there by Nick Colazzo. He kept the stick low to dispossess it. You have a fun moment here right at the midfield logo between 2 very talented players, Patrick Carey and Zachary Apollo, sharing a laugh away from the play. Chapman by himself around the 30-yard line. Slips it over to Smith. Smith, quick pass to Admirand through 3 bodies. It got through. The shot was never there. And the loose ball picked up by the senior, Andrew Golden. Golden flips it ahead to Shane Hegarty. He scored the only goal for ECSU this afternoon. His pass finds Dominic Scarano. And now here are the Warriors into their offense. Holding with a man down right now. And just 10 seconds left. There we go. You hear the count. So here's Channing trying to buy some time.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There's the countdown right there. And so onto the field is Dan Barron. He'll be the extra player. ECSU 1 for 2 now, killing off the man down opportunity. So we're back at even strength right now, and it's ECSU trailing your Beacons 10-1. On the dodge is Dan Barron, who just entered the contest. Eyes to his left, instead opts to go to Channing on the X. Warren Channing, fronted by Colburn. That pass deflected, great defense from the Pats. Pat Colburn with the initial pressure, Pat Carey supporting on the backside, and the turnover caused by the Beaks. 10 turnovers now committed by ECSU. 4 of them have been caused by UMass Boston. Smith to Murphy through traffic. That one almost got through, and it's going to get kicked right back to Charlie Chapman. Chapman scoops it at the right time, and he's off to the races. No, it will be, an off touch by Chapman. So it's an offsides, not a penalty on Chapman, but it was too many men on the offensive side of the field. And ECSU, they have 10 seconds to get a shot off here. 9, the clock is running. Apollo, chop step in on McCullough. He spins, 5 on the clock. Slips the pass over and slips it out of bounds. Clock stops with 1.3 seconds. That will do it for quarter number 1 in just a second right here. And that'll do it. The Beacons score 10, they seed just 1, and senior day off to a rip-roaring start out here on Cotter Field. After 1 quarter of play, it's the UMass Boston Beacons 10, the ECSU Warriors 1. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv. Welcome back into the broadcast, folks. My name is Chris Del Sordo, calling the action for you today on the Beacon Broadcasting Network. Your Beacons, 10 goals, all very stylish goals at that, to get Senior Day started here on Cotter Field. 4 of them scored by Jacob Banks. He's already up to 29 goals now in just 8 1/4 games played. 2 goals for Gavin Admiran, and then 1 apiece for Justin McCullough, his first of the year. Connor Smith, Luke Murphy, and Carson Mezawarn. We had, I got to give Max Clifford credit for this. He's sitting next to me running the show today. Love to have given him a microphone. So the dynamic duo is not done by any means, but he called it. Carson Mezawarn scored as close of a slam dunk goal as you could score, and as a basketball player, it was very apt to see that. That was the final goal scored in the first period for the Beaks. They have seen ECSU commit 10 turnovers. They have forced 4 of them. And Luke Murphy, unfortunately, he's about to be headed to the penalty box for his second time today. It's a slash call against Luke Murphy. And so he's going to remember his senior day. It's a day where there might have been a target on his back. That's the second time he's been in the penalty box right now. The Beacons did an easy job killing off the 30-second penalty. This is going to be a full minute against Luke this time. ECSU going to walk it into play, and Zachary Apollone will do the honors for ECSU. Taking a look at the field as it's set right now, it's Zachary Apollone, Quinn O'Connor to his right, Warren Channing to his left. Down low, you have Garrett Lapham, Shane Hegarty, who scored the goal, and this is Jonathan Bernier, who got the assist on that goal with the ball right now. Bernier working against Carey. Carey just putting him in jail, nowhere for him to go, and so the Warriors reversing course. Channing gets it back from Lapham. They loft it up to Apollone. He's pretty far away from the net, no room to make a play happen. He slips it over to O'Connor. Channing over to Quinn O'Connor. He's let it rip from that far out before. Now here's Channing. Oh, beautiful pass down low, but it's tipped at the last second. That's Cullah and Carey combining forces again, forcing the turnover. That's the 5th caused turnover by the Beacons defense, and now 11 committed by ECSU. Carey's still in the box for about 10 seconds. There you hear the countdown. Chapman in tight room here. He stays in bounds. Nice play by Charlie Chapman. No, actually, they do say he just stepped out of bounds. That was right in front of us.
2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Now Luke Murphy is off, so the Beacons do kill off the penalty. Unfortunately, though, the turnover committed by Chapman, he took on 2 defenders. I thought he beat them to the line. They do say that he stepped out, though, before keeping it in. And so the Beacons ceding that play in the neutral zone. They'll have to get another defensive stop. They've gotten plenty of those so far this afternoon. Apollone. Oh, spinning around, gets it down low, but the shot is missed wide. Pat Carey had 2 players he had to account for there. Shane Hegarty was right on the doorstep for a chance at his second goal of the afternoon, and he misses the shot wide. Trevor Coppy over at the last second to affect the angle on that play. Channing working against Jack Ranta. Look at Jack Ranta just get Warren Channing out of the way. That pass does get into Shane Hegarty, but nowhere to go for him as Sean Cullah once again. That is his zone out there this afternoon for the Beaks defense. Murphy now steps up on O'Connor. Just 35 to shoot. Lapham fakes the shot, dodges in. Saved by Coppy. Goes down low and says no. And now the lofted pass ahead to Nolan Beauregard. Here comes the freshman out of Walpole, Mass. Hasn't quite gotten it yet. Now he's got it. And he flips it ahead to Luke Murphy. Murphy with Beauregard to his right. Weaving through. Murphy slips the pass to Banks. Low shot and a big save made from Colazzo. That's been the route Jacob Banks has been opting to take. Fake high, go low. That time Colazzo was ready. He got the stick down in time. But Banks, right to the middle of the field. Man was open. That one deflects high in the air. It's still loose. Admiran almost knocks it free. Man riding. This is deep in the corner. Beautiful shovel pass. And it will be carried out of trouble by Cody Brown. Great play there. That was Oliver Searle with his back to the play, finally able to get that pass over to Brown. And Cody Brown threw 2 defenders. He keeps his cradle alive and gets it into the zone for an ECSU clear. Bernier looks back to Apollone. Beacon's defense is a little bit unsettled right now, a little unbalanced. They recover to the right side. Shane McGonigal entering the defensive 6 here for the Beaks as Apollone works against Mezawarn. Fakes the pass back to his left. To Channing underneath. ECSU hasn't let the Beacons score yet in this second quarter. They've been in the offensive zone quite a bit here. Channing has to get it back out to Bernier, to Barron. Around the perimeter they go. Apollone had Carey right on his back shoulder, who forces the turnover. Cullen had it for a split second. He got dispossessed by Hegarty, but Darian Clay right there, and now here's D. Clay with some room to move. Darian, beautiful little head fake. He's in for the clear, and he lopes with some confidence in his strides right there. Flips it over to McGonigal. Shane McGonigal has Mesawar to his left. Carries it in himself. Flips it back to Banks. Out to Admirand. Chapman going to join the attack here. He gets the pass from Admirand, and let's see what Charlie has up his sleeve. The junior out of Sandwich, Mass. 25 goals on the season. Dips that left shoulder in. Low shot. Collazo makes the save. It's loose in front. Banks reaches down, but it's scooped up by Ryan Stocks. Another big play for number 9 at the last possible second. Clears the danger momentarily. That pass is to no one in particular. Mann tips it. It's going to be scooped up by Mesawar. Collazo is back. Mann gets the pass from Mesawar. And the save is made from Collazo, robbing Zach Mann at point-blank range. Carson Mesawar had to think he was getting a nice little assist right there. Instead, the Beacons walk it back with 73 to shoot. Beacons 10, Warriors 1. It's been that score for the past 4.5 minutes. Banks spins, has Bowler over his shoulder, instead gives it to Mann. Beauregard loves just kind of loping in behind the defense. Gives it to Chapman. Charlie one-on-one against Oliver Searle. Chop step, works to his right, flips the pass to Banks. No, that shot misses just wide, but Mann's closest to it. Still 51 to shoot for the Beaks. Mann walks it in. He has Bowler all the way to his right at about the 35-yard line. He gets it back to Liam. Here comes the junior out of Spencer, Mass. Is Liam Bowler. Has Charlie Chapman to his left. Chapman dodges it off the crossbar. Quick release there for Chapman. He had the angle on Collazo. Misses off the crossbar. Shot clock resets to 60 for the Beaks, and Admirand wasting no time walking it back in. Here's Beauregard. He's really comfortable at around the 30-yard line, operating with his face towards the net. Beauregard spins, working on Oliver Searle. Searle has been the target in the perimeter. Look at that pass into Bowler, the shot, and the save is made from Collazo, and they're going to say that Bowler stepped in the crease. So ECSU, 5.5 minutes of stellar defense to get this second quarter started. We're still scoreless in quarter number 2. Dominic Scarano joining the offensive attack. Flags on the backside of the play, as taking a long time to get up here is Oliver Searle. It will be a Beacons penalty. For the 4th time today now, the Beacons are playing with a man down. 3 for 3 on prior man-down clears. And we'll get the official word on that penalty momentarily. But a timeout on the field taken by the Beaks means that we'll take a quick timeout as well. Haven't seen a goal yet in the second quarter. 9:27 left to go. It's still Beacons 10, Warriors 1. More after the break on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Well, we'll rejoin the action here at James Cotter Field. The Beacons leading 10-1 over the ECSU Warriors, but for the 4th time already today, playing with a man down. This time it's Charlie Chapman right in front of me in the penalty box. A 1-minute penalty for unnecessary roughness. The Beacons 3 for 3 in their prior man down opportunities. 2 of them, they've played a full minute down. So they've done everything well except stay out of trouble. Apollone is stonewalled by Trevor Coppy. He got his eyes on it, moves his body to the left, and Luke Murphy wins the race to the ball. Great defensive pressure there. Great presence in net from Trevor Coppy. And here comes Jack Ranta looking for the clear. Wow, the Beacons, you take a man off the field and they play that much crisper. Luke Murphy going to take on 3 Warrior defenders before slipping it back to Jack Ranta. Goes all the way across to Sean Cullen. And now the Beaks with some confidence. Behind the Warriors defense, oh, Murphy a step too quick. A step too quick, but that might be a penalty against ECSU. Happened right in front of the referee. Yes, it's going to be a whistle against Quincy Foran, the sophomore D midfielder out of Waterford. He's called for the push. And so now 10 seconds left on the Chapman penalty. Murphy's going to take his sweet time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release.
All right, Connor Smith comes on to join the attack as Chapman takes a step back. Connor Smith with a goal and an assist this afternoon. Right-handed dodge, opts for the high shot, misses a little high into the left. I actually thought ECSU closest to the ball. It will stay with Banks and the Beaks. It's been 7 minutes here in the second quarter. Neither team has scored. Jacob Banks to Zach Mann. There we go. Right there, as easy as that. When he's not scoring, how about an assist? Banks to Mann, and Zach Mann celebrating his senior day with his 9th goal of the season. The Beacons do break that little scoreless run. They're on the board for the first time in the second quarter. Beaks 11, Warriors 1. So that goal scored by Zach Mann, assisted by Jacob Banks. Banks' phenomenal afternoon continues out here on Connor Field as he's right in front of us waiting to get back into the action. It will be a delayed penalty against the Beaks. And so for ECSU, they're about to have their 5th different man-up opportunity. They haven't scored yet with a man-up. They gave the ball right back to the Beaks about 20 seconds into their last man-up opportunity and then never got a shot off. And in fact, the Beacons were able to keep it into the zone, and that led to the Zach Mann goal that we just saw. Quinn O'Connor working back to the top in the direction of Garrett Lapham. Lapham down low. That pass gets away. Pat Colburn wins the race to it. There is a delayed penalty against the Beaks. It'll be a delay of game call against Darian Clay. He's into the sin bin for the Beaks. So it'll be a 30-second penalty against Darian Clay. Once again, the Beacons no worse for the wear with all of these man-up opportunities for ECSU, but we're halfway through the second quarter, and it's been a much more undisciplined second quarter in comparison to the first, and you've only seen 1 goal scored up to this point. Shane Hegarty, the lone goal scorer for ECSU. He winds it into the attack. Quinn O'Connor now at around the 30-yard line. He feigned the long shot, passes it to Apollone, right back to Connor. He had it in the shooting pocket. Quick pass from Channing, and that one's saved by Copy. It might have gotten underneath him, but he goes low. He keeps it in front of the goal line, and another big save out of Trevor Copy celebrating his senior day here.
4, 3, 2, 1.
He's going to launch it down the field as the player is released from the net. That one goes right in his Colazzo stick. It's still loose in front. Oh, Jacob Banks was about an inch away from the most scavenger goal possible, and it is going to get picked up by Banks in front. Banks loops the pass over to McFlynn, but the save is made by Colazzo. Timothy Sullivan gets it back, but he has 4 bodies around him, and this one's ultimately shoveled out of trouble on the play by Oliver Searle. Searle with 3 Beacons on either side. He takes a whack from McFlynn. No penalty on the play, but ECSU with a big stop and clear. And the Warriors, they must have seen something out of the Beacons offense. They've got a bead on the Beaks right now. We've only had 1 goal scored in this second quarter. Unfortunately for the Warriors, they haven't been able to muster a lot offensively. Channing taking on 2 defenders, but no, he's stoned again by Trevor Copy. That is a hot goal scorer, averaging 2 goals a contest, and he's robbed right there. Player taking a spill on the play. Oh, no. That's Timothy Sullivan. Bit of a non-contact play as he comes off. That knee looks to be stinging Sullivan. We'll keep you posted on that. In the meantime, Bernier taking on 2 Beacons. He scores and I believe draws the penalty as well. We're going to make sure, actually, that goal does count. So count the goal.
All right, thank you.
Got it. So the goal scored by number 46, Jonathan Bernier, Once again, same situation that we had for the Mezawar goal. That flag is going to get picked up with the goal scoring. For Bernier, his 12th goal in 13 games, so he adds one to the tally, and the Warriors get one back. We had 11 combined goals in the first quarter, and we've had just 2 in quarter number 2. 9 minutes through quarter number 2, the Beacons still leading 11-2 out here on Cotter Field. Lucozzi with a nice face-off win. Connor Smith joining the attack. Admirand, Murphy, and Smith on the back end of the midfield right now with Chapman joining. So here we go. It's the heavy hitters. 5 different 20-plus goal scorers on the field for the Beaks. Chapman once again hits the crossbar. How close can you get that big right-handed shot out of Charlie Chapman? He looks for those angles, and once again he beats Collazo, but just misses slightly too high. Admirand going to walk it back in. Gavin with 2 goals, 2 assists this afternoon. He has surpassed the 300-point mark in his career. Oh, beautiful pass! And that's a beautiful goal. It's man to Admirand. I'm just talking about him, and he gets himself a hat trick right there. More importantly, for the 60th time this season, Gavin Admirand has found twine. 60-goal scorer. He still has another regular season game to go. The playoffs as well. This phenomenal senior campaign to round out the career just continues for Gavin Admirand. He finds twine. It's 5 points now on the afternoon, 3 goals, and the Beacons back up by 10. The score is now 12-2. So to get the scoring started in the second quarter, it was Zach Mann from Gavin Admirand. Now it's Gavin Admirand from Zach Mann. 60 goals, unbelievable to look at. A hat trick as well, and another turnover forced by the Beaks. It's the true freshman Colin Colby. Ahead to Cullah, over to Admirand, quick pass to man to Banks, that's a beautiful goal. That is Lacrosse 101, folks. It started from Colin Colby, he gets it ahead, patient passing, the extra pass ultimately gets to Jacob Banks, who finds twine for the 5th time today. And how about this? Gavin Admirand follows up his 60th goal of the year with Jacob Banks' 30th goal of the year. An offensive explosion on Cotter Field. The Beacons lead 13-2. Jacob Banks for the 5th time today and the 30th time this season. Folks, that's not even 8.5 games of lacrosse this season. It took him to get 30 goals. The Beacons with 2 of Division III's premier goal scorers, both showing out this afternoon. Big win in midfield right there for ECSU as they're trying to put a stop. They had the upper hand, it felt like, through the first 5 minutes of the second quarter. The Beacons were first to score, but then Bernier answered the bell for ECSU. It made you think, hey, they're still in this contest. 2 straight goals by the Beacons, and they need to answer right here. They're not going to get it as Trevor Coppy makes the stop, but you can see he makes the stop to his own personal detriment right there. Coppy just trying to come back to his senses right there. That's going to be the most painful save of his career as Seth Travers, our trainer, taking his time here to see if we're going to need him out on the field, and it looks like you can only be so tough in a situation like that. This is the 3rd time we've seen this happen just this season. Lacrosse goalie position particularly not for the faint of heart. Trevor, he's back up. Now how good he's feeling remains to be determined. Broden Youngclaws already came out ready to play in net. You got to like what he was doing right there, and for a split second, Trevor Coppy looked like he was going to win the argument to stay on the field, but no, he is going to come off here, and a delicate limp from Trevor Coppy as he's making his way off the field. But he gets the round of applause from his teammates. He looks like he's going to be headed back into this contest, but we get another look at the talented freshman, Broden Youngclaws. His pass to Gallagher was tipped away, and he's going to get tested right here. Great recovery by Pat Colburn to tip that shot. And it will be a turnover right back to the Beacons. So Broden Youngclaws, he has seen the second most action of any goalie on the Beacons roster. Has played in 127 minutes. This is his 9th appearance. A very good save percentage out of Broden Youngclaws. He has the best save percentage of the 4 goalies on the Beacons roster, coming in at 56% upon the start of action today. Admirand and Colburn couldn't link up on the play right there. That's a turnover against the Beaks. They haven't looked as crisp here in quarter number 2. They only committed 4 turnovers in the first quarter. 2 of them were caused. 3 more in this second quarter. Luckily for them, ECSU not doing any better, already at 17 turnovers committed, 7 of them caused by the Beaks. So a lot of unforced errors out of ECSU. They can still make the argument that they're in this contest, but they're going to have to get the offensive started soon here. Zachary Apollone directing traffic with a head nod. Garrett Lapham opts to head in front of the net. Remember, it's Broden Youngclaws in there right now as Trevor Coffey just came off after making a big save. O'Connor out to Lapham. He gets around McGonigal and scores. Garrett Lapham, a beautiful long shot, working one-on-one against Shane McGonigal. Normally, Shane trends towards the offensive side of the field. Nothing he can do about that. That was a beautifully placed shot. For Garrett Lapham, it's his 18th goal of the season. He is second in points right now for the Warriors. That was now his 29th point. So 3 goals for the ECSU Warriors. Shane Hegarty, his 4th. That one was assisted by Jonathan Bernier. Then Bernier scored the 2nd goal for ECSU, his 12th of the season. And Garrett Lapham just scored the 3rd for the Warriors and his 18th of the year. Colin Colby had a great play there to force the turnover, but then the ball turned back over in the zone, but it's given right back. Stocks didn't see what he liked, and he turns it over to Admiran. The pass goes across to Carey. Carey couldn't corral it, though, and now back in trouble are the Warriors. It's Oliver Searle, tasked once again with clearing the zone. He gets it upfield, and Sean Ventresca will take it across the timeline. Ventresca, a sophomore out of Montville, Connecticut. Still with it behind the net right now as the Beacons just keeping one on him. He gets a pass to Scarano. Scarano is saved by Youngclaws. He reads it beautifully, drops down low, and robs Dominic Scarano. Dominic, that would have been his 10th point on the season. Instead, he's left begging. And now Murphy, right through the middle of the field, slip past to Banks, nothing to it but to do it. And for the 6th time today, Jacob Banks right in front of the net, puts it in. The Beacons back up 11. We're back at a football score. It's 14-3. Jacob Banks, 6 goals, and with the exception of 1, 5 of them have been right on the doorstep, just getting the late pass, not doing anything too extra, and slipping it right into the net. It's just been beautiful team lacrosse. The 13th goal of the contest got started with a Colin Colby stick check, and it was just 4 passes and a goal. This one, once again, a defensive stop leading to a beautiful crisp pass. Jacob Banks, 6 goals and an assist as well, and now out by himself on an island here on about the 25-yard line. Banks goes left to right. Chop step. Lefty shot, and that one gets through Collazo, but not into the net. Man closest to it. We're at the 2-minute warning right now of the second quarter. Beacons leading 14-3. Jacob Banks enjoying a 6-goal performance. Gavin Admiran with 3 as well. Connor Smith, he's right in front of me. He wants to add to his senior day tally with 1 goal. There we go. The grad student out of Oakland, Maine, sitting at 43 on the season, so we know he's got some milestones in his sight. That's going to be an illegal screen here against the Beaks, a moving screen called against Nolan Beauregard. And so the Beaks, a turnover there when they least wanted it. They had a chance to get up to 15 in the afternoon. Instead, here's ECSU, and it's Oliver Searle running right into Sean Cullah. Unfortunately, it's going to be a penalty against number 0, and Searle takes another hit from Cullah on the backside, and now he's down. The first hit from Cullah is what drew the penalty. Searle was able to survive that, but then he went to repossess the ball. He took another shot from Cullah. So Sean, he got his money's worth, but this is the 6-man-up opportunity now for ECSU. So that's a locked penalty right now. Sean Cullah in the sin bin for 2 full minutes. That means he's going to be in the penalty box even when the third quarter gets started. It's going to be a legal contact head-to-head. And Searle, luckily, he peeled himself up off the turf. And so here we go, ECSU, they're going to be a man up for the rest of the first half here. Zachary Apollone waiting for the go-ahead, and the ref winds us back into play. The Beacons' defense, it's been stellar, only allowing 3 goals up to this point. Quinn O'Connor back to Apollone. He had to retreat a bit to keep that pass clean. Over to Hegarty. ECSU really stretching out this man-out attack, just hoping to create some space in front. They did, but Hegarty misses off the post. Nice recovery there from Pat Carey and Evan Twombly combining. And Hegarty had a chance for his second goal of the afternoon. Instead, he pulls it off the post. So we'll reset. Crossfield pass here. Lapham just scored for the Warriors. Slings it off to Hegarty. And just nothing there. They're trying to slip a pass right in front of Broden Youngclaws. But the swarming perimeter defense, that one's knocked free by Twombly. Ball is still loose. Channing doesn't have it. Evan Twombly still kicking at it. He got this started. McCullough on the backside of the play, and this one's going to roll into the offensive zone. Jacob Banks first to it. So you can thank Evan Twombly for the first forced turnover. And now the Beacons, with a man down the rest of the half, Coach Lowe will take a timeout, and so the Beacons can draw something up to bring this first half to a close. It's been a good second quarter. It can be a great one if the Beacons capitalize here. We'll take one more quick break, and when we come back, the final 35 seconds of quarter number 2, it's Beacons 14, Warriors 3 on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, presented on LittleEast.tv. Welcome back to James Cotter Field. The Beacons with the ball, with a man down. Sean Culler right in front of me. He's in the sin bin for about another minute 05 for an illegal body check, head-to-head contact. The Beacons, luckily for them, they've gone 6 for 6 in killing off the man-up opportunities against ECSU. They'll have a man down for the last 35 seconds of half number 2, but Coach Lowe calling that timeout to maybe draw something up here to just keep the ball with the Beacons for the rest of this half and maybe put a cherry on top with a nice goal to end the second quarter. Charlie Chapman drawing a double team. Now he reverses field. He's got 2 men marking him. The Warriors, they can afford to do that. The Beacons playing with a man down right now. Chapman, great solo dodge, slips the pass behind to Admirand. 10 seconds left in the quarter. The Beacons might not even be looking for the shot here. Now, smart lacrosse, you just want to kill this one off. 3 seconds left. Admirand looks at the scoreboard, and that will do it. 10 goals in the first quarter, 4 more in quarter number 2, and the Beacons defense allows just 3. It's halftime here at Cotter Field, looking at a bit of a football score, and the Beacons on senior day have to like what they've seen so far. At halftime, it's UMass Boston 14, Eastern Connecticut State 3. We'll take a quick break and be right back with the halftime numbers after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network. All right, halftime here at Cotter Field. This is Chris Del Sordo bringing you the action on the Beacon Broadcasting Network. Max Clifford to my left, pulling the strings for you on the broadcast today, and honestly telling me all of the little nuggets that I have. Anything that makes me sound like I know lacrosse, you guys can thank Max Clifford for that. Max compiled the halftime stats, and he can tell you things look really good for the Beacons, who lead this game 14-3. The Beacons, as they normally do, out shooting their opponent, not too many, right? 31 shots, they've scored 14, so it's been a very efficient offensive approach. winning the ground ball battle resoundingly 28-15. It's been a tough task to even clear and get it in rhythm for ECSU. But once ECSU has gotten the ball into the offensive zone, really nothing doing. And Broden Youngclaws with 2 saves, Trevor Copy with 6. So they have gotten their looks and just aren't converting. It's a lot to celebrate here for the Beacons in the first half. Offensively, 2 players to touch on. Jacob Banks, 6 goals and an assist. Gavin Admiran, 3 goals and 2 assists. They both hit big milestones. Gavin Admiran now across the 300-point marker for his career at 60 goals for the season. And Jacob Banks has 30 goals for the season in just 8.5 games. 3 goals scored by ECSU. Shane Hegarty, his 4th. Jonathan Bernier, his 12th. And Garrett Lapham, his 18th. We're not going to waste any more time here, guys. I'm looking at the scoreboard. Have about 7 minutes before the second half gets started. So we'll take those 7 minutes to just let it breathe here. Don't go too far. We're not going anywhere. The second half coming up in 7 minutes on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv. Beacons leading 14-3. About to get started here, and we are underway in quarter number 3. The Beacons playing with a man down right now. It's Zach Mann sitting in the penalty box. Sean Cullen, the guilty party. A 2-minute penalty for contact to the head, and the Beacons did a phenomenal job killing off the first 90 seconds in the second quarter, and that looks like the goal here. About 11 more seconds on the penalty, and Charlie Chapman, he's more than capable of winding off these remaining 7 seconds. All right, so Zach Mann joins the attack. The Beacons are now 7 for 7 of killing off man-up opportunities against ECSU. That was a 2-minute penalty. They didn't even allow one shot attempt in those 2 minutes. Connor Smith, 1 goal today, 43 on the season. Chop step, pass back to Gavin Admirand. Admirand and Smith both out at the top of the perimeter here for the Beaks. Chop step, Smith using the body here on the dodge, rips a shot in close quarters, misses high. Banks is right there. Mentioned this before, but
We're riding. Shot clock ended. What's up? Banks, roll it. We're dropping. 7 seconds. Sure. We're riding. Connor, you can come.
sorry about that. So, clock situation right now.
We got that 7 down there. I know. That one's wide.
Just waiting here for the official word.
Can't guarantee it's going to go. That's the problem.
Clock issues right now as the Beacons wind this back in. They're going to have just 5 seconds to shoot, and I believe that will be the shot clock violation against the Beaks. So we thought that they were headed towards it. They get the extra attacker on, but that is a shot clock violation. We'll go back the other way.
Where's Kenny? Where's our facilities people again? Not a surprise.
Mezawar getting in, and that will be a late flag here as Ranta, Mezawar, and Luke Murphy all in the middle right there. And you can see the ECSU bench not thrilled with that call. On the ground right now, I believe it's a Tech 30 penalty right now. We have a man down on the field. It's number 44, Quincy Foran, the D midfielder out of Waterford, Connecticut. He's right back up. But shot clock issues right now here on the field. We might take a minute before we get back up and running in this contest again.
Hold on.
And we'll hold momentarily right now. The Beacons still leading this game 14-3. It's a penalty on Carson Mezawar. And just trying to figure out the shot clock situation. So don't go far. We're not going anywhere. Beacons leading by 11 here in the third quarter. And here we go. So we're back underway, finally. ECSU, they forced the turnover. Carson Mezawar in the box for about 30 seconds. It's the 8th man-up opportunity for ECSU today, and they've yet to score with a man-up. Shot misses high. Copy was there. That was Bernier letting it rip, trying for goal number 2. Ranta took a spill on the back end of that play.
I'm trying to do 2 jobs.
Still 60 on the shot clock.
8, 7, 6, 5,
Apollo
4, 3.
in the middle. Oh, good quick shot and score out of Garrett Lapham. That's his second. He's got a big frame on him, and he was able to find some open space unmarked, turns, rips, and scores his 19th goal of the season. For the second time today, the 19th time this season, it's Garrett Lapham finding Twine.
So they scored.
And for the senior out of Trumbull, Connecticut, he's 1 away from the 20-goal plateau. Quick mitts, better finish. And the Warriors are back to within 10. It's Beacons 14, ECSU 4. Rick O'Neal back in the center circle. Jason McNeely lined up across from him. It's Darian Clay and Dominic Scarano to their left, joining them in the center circle. Resetting the game right now, it's 13-15 left to go in the third quarter. Beacons with 14 goals, 10 in the first quarter, only 4 in quarter number 2. For ECSU, they scored once in the first quarter. Beacons with an impressive 10-1 lead as we moved into quarter number 2. 2 goals for the Warriors, and they've scored the lone goal of the third quarter. Oh, as Collazo goes down low and robs Gavin Admirand, who was vying for his 61st goal on the season. Collazo's pass almost intercepted by McGonigal. He tried to thread that through to Apollone, but now Zachary Apollone with some room to operate. Gets the pick from Rick O'Neal. And Apollone winds it all the way back to the X, where he'll chop against Darian Clay. Pass over to Quinn O'Connor. O'Connor one-on-one with Colin Ford fronting him. Spinning. O'Connor slips the pass over to Apollone. He can't field it cleanly. Colin Colby right there jailing him out. Apollone asking for a penalty. No call to be made, so he'll have to reverse it back to Channing. 34 on the shot clock for ECSU. Channing looking for his first goal of the afternoon, but a save made by Copy. He reads the shot, goes down low with it. Ball picked up by Pat Colburn. 2 Warriors testing Colburn. Lapham tries to cross-check it away, but Colburn there on the backside. It's ultimately scooped up by Shane Hegarty, and the shot clock will reset for ECSU. Garrett Lapham gets the call from his head coach, Mark Graham, looks to his left in the direction of Quinn O'Connor. O'Connor's taken 83 shots on the season. Apollone's shot, it's saved by Copy. Does it get behind him? No, it does not. He keeps it inside the post. Trevor Copy, phenomenal day continuing. He's got 9 saves now in this, his senior day start. And now here's Colin Ford, another senior playing his final regular season game on Connor Field, over in the direction of Connor Smith. Back to Ford, he had to reach back to keep that one. But now the Beaks with 6 in the offensive zone. Ford around to his right. Jacob Banks, 6 goals already today. 1 more would tie his career high in a game. Banks, crossover step, looks back to Charlie Chapman. Chapman, quick pass inside to Banks, had him on the dangerous spot. And Charlie picks it back up. Chapman out of trouble. Wow, a pass and scores! Unbelievable! Chapman with the assist. Zach Mann over the shoulder. What a finish! And Zach Mann scores his 10th goal of the season. Brilliant pass by brilliant pass by Chapman. Oh, an even prettier finish out of Zach Mann. And the grad student out of South Hadley finds Twine for the 2nd time today and the 10th time on the season. The Beacons do score their first goal in the third quarter, and they retake an 11-goal lead. It's Beacons 15, Warriors 4. Violation there against Matt Lucozzi, so Rick O'Neal with another face-off win. No Scott Galbo in the lineup today as Rick O'Neal, the full-time face-off man for the Warriors, and Banks scores! Murphy to Banks, easy as that. 7 goals, ties a career high for Jacob Banks, and the Beacons do take their largest lead of the contest. They're up 12, it's 16-4. Luke Murphy is just piling up the assist numbers. That's his 3rd of the contest. He now has 27 assists on the season, a chance for him to reach the 30 apple mark. What a number that would be for the All-American midfielder. For Banks, it is his 7th of the game, his 32nd of the season. This afternoon, just a fun day to round out LEC home play for 11 different seniors on this Beacons roster, and a 16-4 start here in quarter number 3, exactly what they wanted heading into action. Evan Twombly, nice job getting that one out of trouble, flipping it ahead to Luke Murphy. Murphy still with some work to do, as that's Dominic Scarano in front of him. McNeely joining the cause, and Jason McNeely keeps it alive and keeps it in. Twombly and Admirand near it, and E.T. scoops it up and dodges a defender, and the Beacons do win the face-off and enter the offensive zone. Twombly, backside, passes over to Banks, who scores! That's the 2nd time it's been that combination. Evan Twombly, his 2nd assist of the day, and Jacob Banks, a new career high 8 goals. Not 1, not 2, I'm not going to count, but a big ocho for Jacob Banks. He now has 33 goals in just 8.5 games, and it's Evan Twombly on the assist. For Banks, he now has 33 goals on the season. For Evan Twombly, it is assists 2 and 3 on the season, assisting 2 separate Jacob Banks goals. Let the good times roll out here on Cotter Field. It's the largest Beacons lead of the afternoon, 17-4. Penalty against ECSU, and it'll be a full minute against number 9, Ryan Stocks, in the sin bin. So the Beacons with a 13-goal lead and a 1-minute man-up opportunity. This is just the 4th time the Beacons have had a man-up in this contest. They are 8 for 8 on killing off man-down opportunities. They are 2 of 3 in their prior man-up opportunities. And now Luke Murphy going to wind this clock. Another 45 seconds of Ryan Stocks in the sin bin. Charlie Chapman hopping into the attack. And Chapman getting the pass from Luke Murphy. Bowler joining the attack as well. He has Admiran to his left. Drops it off to Murphy on his right. Chapman. Quick pass to Smith. Charlie Chapman. No goals today, but 2 assists for the midfielder out of Sandwich, Mass. Oh, Admiran on the doorstep and scores right inside the right post. Quick pass from Smith for the assist. Connor Smith adding to his assist tally. And Gavin Admiran, for the 4th time today and the 61st time this season, finds Twine, and it's the usual suspects combining forces there. Smith to Admiran for the goal. So resetting the numbers, folks, neither of these are typos. Jacob Banks has 8 goals today. He now has 33 on the season. Gavin Admiran with 4. He has 62. And if I have this written down right, that's the 4th assist for Connor Smith today, which not only eclipses the 65-point plateau, he is over the 20 assist mark on the season. What can't this man do, the grad student out of Oakland, Maine? Beeks with it again in Warriors territory. Man, with 2 goals already today. He's into double figures on the season, but Zach has a lot of goals in him. This is his last home game in the regular season at Cotter Field. They might be looking his way a bit more. Nolan Beauregard, he also sits 1 goal away from 20. Colin Ford, 6 goals, 7 assists on the season. Shot just misses wide as Collazo was late. It looks like Zach Mann closest to it. Mann winding it back in. Still 45 on the shot clock for the Beaks. Admiran looks to Beauregard. In the direction. Well, that one was behind Beauregard. He goes back and scoops it up. Right over to Flynn. Ford looks to set the pick. They slip it over to Banks. He thought about the long shot. What a pass to Beauregard, and Nolan a step ahead of that shot. That could have been it. That could have been goal number 20 right there for Beauregard. Tough task right now for Oliver Searle, but he's equipped, and he gets through the defensive midfield and in for the clear for ECSU. Oliver Searle, we haven't seen him join the offensive attack a lot, but he's been the player, number 13, most of the time, getting it into the offensive zone for the Warriors, doing a good job just keeping that cradle alive. Zachary Apollone has been tasked with a tough assignment here, generating some offense from the perimeter. This is a player, Garrett Lapham, who has scored twice this afternoon for the Warriors. Spins in the direction of Apollone. Zachary can't field it cleanly. That was nice thinking there. He tried to kick it over to Hegarty, but he kicks it out of bounds, and we'll go right back the other way. That was the first time the Warriors had the ball in their offensive zone in about 4 minutes, and they promptly turn it over. It was a slow start to the second quarter, fairly slow start to the third quarter, but the Beacons really starting to pick up the pace here. They have 4 goals already in quarter number 3. That's Carson Mezawar. He has 1 today. Colin Ford to Jacob Banks in, and the save is made by Collazo. Wow, he reads. I tell you what, he's had a lot of looks at Jacob Banks in that type of close proximity. Once again, this time he makes the stop. So Banks was vying for goal number 9. Got stonewalled there. Admiran and Smith out on the perimeter. Smith over to Beauregard. Beauregard draws the double team. Smith thinking about the long shot. Instead finds Admiran on the long pass. Admiran two-man, and a save is made by Collazo. Wow. Great find from Admiran, getting the pass to Zach Mann. The Beaks do force the turnover. It's Beauregard. across the field. Banks fakes the left-handed shot, passes it to Admirand in front. Oh, that's a big hit, and I don't know. I think that player might have got his leg caught underneath him. That's Dominic Scarano down, and we got to make sure that that knee is okay because he crunched with Gavin Admirand in an awkward spot. Gavin's no worse for the wear. Scarano also, full credit to him. He's up and running. He looks fine. That could have been a dangerous play right in front of the net. I do believe it's ball back to the Warriors. Yes, so they dodge a bullet with an injury, and they force a turnover against the Beaks. Trailing by 14 right now is ECSU. And we've seen some runaways this season on the lacrosse field as it relates to the Beacons. This game doesn't feel like an 18-4 game. ECSU has been a game opponent. They've been able to get the ball in their zone quite a bit. You've seen this goalie, Nick Colazzo, make some big plays. He's joining the offensive attack here. He might get an assist. Great defense by Shane McGonigal on the backside, saying no and robbing Mike Stevenson of the goal attempt. Carey looks across to McCullough. Justin skies up, corrals it, and here we go. Justin McCullough through the midfield, the junior out of Waltham. Back over to Gavin Admirand. Admirand, eyes always ready towards the net. Banks in a threatening spot on the X. Zach Mann feigned offering the screen. Instead, they go to Luke Murphy. Right in the middle. He had Zach Mann in front. Now Murphy, a wide-angle dodge. And he'll wind it back in the direction of Banks. To McGonigal. To Admirand. Let's see if Gavin wants to test for goal number 5. No, it's over to Zach Mann. Mann from the X, around the crease, shot and a save made by Colazzo. Ooh, Zach Mann that close to the net, that's usually a done deal. But Nick Colazzo turning it up here in the third quarter into double-digit saves. Murphy, one-on-one play, lefty shot, misses low. Colazzo had his angles covered, but how about Luke Murphy getting the shot off left-handed, and it'll reset the Beacons' offense again, this time Mann walking it in. Man fronted by Cody Brown has to loft that pass up to Admirand. Oh, just so calm and collected with it. Admirand just punches it around a couple of times to gain possession. Now Gavin, a little ISO play here as he opts to dodge to his left. Left-handed cradle, has 2 defenders on him. Spins, shot, and a save. No, it's off the crossbar. I thought Colazzo gloved it. He did not, but it hits the crossbar, and we'll go back the other way. Well, no, we won't because Gavin Admirand forces the turnover. No, he doesn't. Wow, I thought that was a turnover forced by Gavin Admirand. Ball will stay with the Warriors. And Quincy Foran walking it back in. He's going to try and loft a pass over Jacob Banks, and it's a beautiful one at that to Andrew Golden. Golden gets behind Banks. Banks going to join the chase, and the ride from Jacob Banks forces the turnover. Colby scoops it up, and how about this? The Warriors are out of place defensively. Jacob Banks started it. Let's see if he finishes it. Gets the pass from Murphy. Shot! Scores! Jacob Banks, do it all yourself. And how about this? This is a new Beacon single-season game high. 9 goals, Max Clifford, for Jacob Banks, and he earned that one himself. He ran about 70 yards to make the play defensively, goes another 70 back, and slots it home for the 9th time today. And the 34th time this season, it's Jacob Banks finding Twine. Slow down, young man. Save some goals for the playoffs. 9th time, and he earned that one himself. We'll rejoin here. We might have a little bit of a milestone watch as it relates to the Beagles' entire single-game program record. For this season, 9 goals is the single-game high mark, and it's the high mark by 2. So Jacob Banks, he's not a senior. He's stealing the senior night spotlight today. Save made by Copy. Oh, Lapham was walking that one into the net, but Copy throws the stick up, and the huge day for Trevor Copy. He's going to love looking back at these highlights. He's been on his game in the crease this afternoon. Beacons with 5 goals here in the third quarter. 3 of them have been scored by Jacob Banks. Luke Murphy, he's been creating a lot offensively. He gets past Apolone, into the crease, takes a hit, gets the pass inside Colazzo. Turnover is forced by the Warriors. Great play there by Ryan Stocks. He got back and just knocked that one off Luke Murphy, who got through 3 Warriors before that point. Hegarty, wide open man is Quinn O'Connor, and he scores. Beautiful pass from Hegarty. Quinn O'Connor He takes the most shots of anybody on ECSU, wasted no time slipping that one into the back of the net. For the 12th time this season, it's Quinn O'Connor finding twine for ECSU, and they're back to within 14. It's Beacons 19, Warriors 5. A little recap here for the Warriors. Garrett Lapham scoring his 18th and 19th goals of the season. That was Quinn O'Connor scoring his 14th. In the first quarter, it was a goal scored by Shane Hegarty, and Jonathan Bernier also with a goal for ECSU. Colin Ford takes the screen from Clay, gets it over to McNeely, and the three midfielders getting that one into the offensive zone, but promptly turning it over. Picked up by Rick O'Neill on the backside, the Fogo there. Gets the ball into the Warriors' offensive attack. There's going to be a delayed penalty here against the Beacons, so the Warriors playing with a man up right now. Spinning in is Dominic Scarano. Shot saved, blocked way up in the air from Copy. It'll go out of bounds. The Warriors do win the race to the ball. And I forgot, we did have that delayed penalty on the backside of the play, so it will be a slashing penalty. They called it on Gavin Admiran, not Colin Ford. It looked like Ford was the guilty party there. If you're ECSU, you'll take that. Admiran, a quick word with the referee on the backside of the play, but we rarely see this. Gavin's in the sin bin. Now the Beacons, for what it's worth, 8 for 8 with a man down today. Might this be the straw that finally breaks the camel's back? Is ECSU just not able to get inside the Beacons with a man up? Apollone. Back over to Quinn O'Connor. O'Connor over to Lapham. Lapham could get a hat trick on this possession here. Apollone, beautiful pass, and Hegarty, his second goal of the afternoon. Zachary Apollone doing the distributing. And Shane Hegarty, for just the 5th time this season, you'd never know it because he looks like a very capable goal scorer in front of the net. For the 5th time this season, and the 2nd time today, Shane Hegarty finding twine, and ECSU finally does score with a man up. They are now 1 of 9 in those opportunities. They're back to within 13, 2 straight goals for the Warriors. It's Beacons 19, Warriors 6. We'll walk it in back to the face-off circle here. Just saw Jason McNeely get the win. This time Matthew Lucozzi in the center circle. And Rick O'Neill, 3 straight face-off wins. That's a huge hit in the middle of the field, as it's Jack Ranta and Colin Colby delivering the hit on Rick O'Neill. And that's going to be an extra flag, I believe, against Jack Ranta, unfortunately. There's a flag for the initial hit and maybe a taunting penalty. So I'm going to turn the mic off, wait for the referees to come over, and then we'll fill you in. So how about that? 2 separate non-releasable 2-minute penalties. It's going to be a legal body check on Colin Colby for 2 minutes, and then a slash against Ryan Stocks for 2 minutes. So Colin Colby, he's stuck in the sin bin for the next 2 minutes. If ECSU allows a goal, Ryan Stocks will be able to lead. So it's going to be even strength for the next 2 minutes, unless the Beacons do score a goal. Stocks with his 3rd penalty now committed in this contest, and you can hear behind us between some of the parents and fans, and from bench to bench. This game's getting a little chippy. It sounds like the fans are still talking right now, and that's not really a recipe that you want to have with still 17 and a half minutes left in this contest. Plenty of lacrosse left to be played, so we just want to hope that cooler heads prevail in this situation right now. We're waiting for the official heads up here from the referee. And Connor Smith, well, hang on. Now Luke Murphy has it up top, and he'll walk it back in. He has Connor Smith to his left, and he looks in that direction. Here comes Smith. Off the body check, still working on a right-handed dodge. Gets inside Oliver Searle. Shot is saved by Nick Colazzo. Nick Colazzo is going to be in this net the entire game, folks. He's only been out of net 5 minutes on the season for ECSU, and his day has definitely gotten better. He was blitzed in the first quarter to the tune of 10 Beacons goals, has allowed just 9 across the next half hour of Lacrosse, and seems pretty locked in right now. The Beacons scored 4 times in the second quarter and 5 in quarter number 3, but it was nothing like that onslaught of 10 goals in the first quarter. So credit to Nick Colazzo, the senior out of Park Ridge, New Jersey, for really settling in the crease for ECSU. Lapham has a man in front. It's Hegarty, and he gets his hat trick. Shane Hegarty, for the 7th time this season, scores, and it's the 3rd time today. And ECSU, that is now 3 consecutive goals. Remember, Colin Colby, he's stuck in this penalty box for about another minute still. And so ECSU, with a chance to make this scoreline come back even. So doing some math, that means that both players still with 1:11 seconds in the sin bin. Once again, if the Beacon scores, Ryan Stocks can leave the sin bin. Colin Colby stuck with an unreleasable penalty. More to cover as that situation progresses. Also, how about this? ECSU, they were 0 of 8 on their first 8 man-up opportunities. They've converted on their last 2. Here's a big opportunity now. Murphy to Smith, and a save from Colazzo. Wow, he meets him at the summit. Connor Smith tried to beat him high and left, and Colazzo, he is really locked in the crease right now for ECSU. They've yet to concede a goal. Smith from the backside. Big play on the dispossession, and that's no penalty, but it is a whistle against Connor Smith. Pardon me. So waiting on that official word. It is a 30-second penalty on Smith. So I thought that was just going to be a whistle. Not Smith, but Twombly. So Twombly's going to be in for 30 seconds. He's free to go at the 41-second mark. It's going to be weird the next 30 seconds dealing with this penalty situation, but you have an ECSU team that's converted on their last 2 man-up opportunities, and they'll have 30 seconds with a man-up right here. Apollone yet to score, but he has 2 assists this afternoon. Back across to Lapham, one of 2 multi-goal scorers for ECSU today. Lapham to Bernier. He has a goal. Lapham, quick pass down low. Stevenson not ready for it. Coppy's closest to it, and that's a great defensive stand for the Beaks. It looks like Chapman is going to be the man coming on. Well, he'll come on now. Beauregard probably going to be the player to release. Great hands from Chapman to keep that play alive. And he lofts the ball ahead to Pat Carey over his head. Greg Wolf chasing after it. Wolf keeps it in. And there we go. So we're finally about to head back to even strength here. I think Gavin Admiran and the Beaks going to keep. No, well, they turn it over. It is a turnover committed by the Beaks. And now everybody out of the sin bin. And we'll end this quarter finally back at even strength. It's been 3 minutes straight of differential play. The Beacons had an opportunity there, but instead now here's Quinn O'Connor, and he threw it away. Ooh, the Warriors with a chance to get back to within 11. Instead, they leave 16 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter. McCullough ahead to Mezawar. Mezawar does get the clear to Carey. Carey to Chapman, and now Chapman with 9 seconds left. In low to Beauregard. Nolan fakes the shot, dodges right-handed, shot, scores! Nolan Beauregard, 2.1 seconds left in the third quarter. There you go, give it to him. And for Nolan, it is his 20th goal on the season. You rarely ever have a true freshman come into the field at any level of college lacrosse and net 20. But for number 55 out of Walpole, Mass, he finds Twine for the 20th time this season, and the Beacons score their 20th goal of the game. It's Beacons 20. Warriors 7. So Beauregard is now, looks to be the 9th different Beacon to get a goal this afternoon. Face-off won by won by McNeely. Quarter comes to an end, and we will take ourselves a quick break. 15 minutes left here in Connor Field, and the Beacons having a fun little senior day. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv. It's Beacons 20, Warriors 7. And we have our third different goalie entering the mix for the Beacons this afternoon. For the first time today, we'll get our look at number 12, Otto Kierlees. Boston native, Otto played his high school lacrosse at Boston Latin. And he's making his 9th appearance of the season. He's played 98 minutes of lacrosse up to this point. Has a 47.6 save percentage on the year. Beacons win the faceoff. They keep it into the zone. We have the freshman Max Hamilton-Jones passing it ahead to Jack Ranta for a successful clearance. Ranta quickly gets it back to Murphy. A lot of the Beacons' first teamers still out here as we get this fourth quarter started. Liam Bowler, right-handed dodge. Bowler only shot once this afternoon. Doesn't see anything he likes there. Beacons down a shot clock on their side of the field, so they'll wind it back here. Still 45 to shoot. Bowler, lefty dodge, lefty shot, lefty goal. Liam Bowler goes both ways there. He shoots left-handed this time. The elongated dodge opens up the window. And for Liam, that is point number 20. He has 13 assists and now 7 goals in his junior campaign. And the Beacons back up 2 touchdowns. It's UMass Boston 21, ECSU 7. Face-off won by McNeely on the play. O'Neal, though, takes it back, and that ball ultimately gets to Shane Hegarty, who already does have 3 goals this afternoon. That shot goes wide. Stevenson scoops it up. Stevenson working around Pat Colburn. Dispossessed on the play. Darian Clay never saw that the ball got knocked loose, but Colburn, he knocked it free. He goes and gets it back. Kierlees over to MHJ. Hamilton-Jones ahead to Colin Colby. And now Colin Colby joining the attack after the clear. Hands it off to Murphy. Sets the screen. And now the Beacons in rhythm on offense. Admiran back down low to Greg Wolf to a cutting Meswar. Oh, that would have been beautiful. He just misses the behind-the-back shot. Misses it wide left. Admiran puts it into Murphy, and we're right back on with Connor Smith. Just 1 goal this afternoon for the grad student out of Oakland, Maine. He fakes the jump shot, gets inside his defender, but reverses field to Murphy. Mezawar, some trouble scooping it, but he pushes it ahead to Mann. Mann runs into 2 Warriors, and that gives the ball back to ECSU. Dominic Scarano, a right-handed dodge, reverses it back in the direction of Shane Hegarty. And so ECSU not gonna force it here. They'll reset the offense in the direction of Garrett Lapham. Lapham fakes the long shot in, and it's off the post. Connor Smith got a little lost there on the one-on-one defensive task. Lapham can't make him pay, though, as he pings that one off the post. Stevenson back to Lapham. And here comes the big 6'5" senior out of Trumbull, Connecticut. Pass into the middle for Hegarty, and he scores. Shane Hegarty having himself a season-high contest. He gets the pass from Lapham and tucks it in. He scored 3 straight goals for the Warriors. It's his 4th of the game and his 8th of the season. All right, guys, I'm going to break the fourth wall here. It got a lot colder as the game got started, and I am not equipped to call the game right now. I'm going to run and grab something. In the meantime, here's a guy who knows more about this team than I do. Max Clifford going to take it away on the call. Max, all yours.
Happy to take over for you, Chris. This is Max Clifford now on the play-by-play call. Subbing in for Chris Del Sardo. We got Mick Flynn flanking the right side, passes to Zach Mann behind the goal. Mann taking the ball out to the left side now. Going to bring it back to Charlie Chapman up top, trying to get something going here with a big lead, 21-8 right now. A high shot from Chapman soars above the goal. Chapman with a strong shot, that time a little too high as he went down to the ground, and so we are going to have possession. Beacons behind the net. Who is that? Mick Flynn taking the ball out of bounds right now. Outside on the perimeter. Going to look up to Colin Ford, who will find Zach Mann across the top. Mann over to Charlie Chapman. Chapman driving. Looks like he wants to shoot again, and he does. That time a little too low. Bounced it into the chest plate of ECSU goalie there, and now it is going to be possession Warriors taking over behind their own goal. We have number 24, Cody Brown, bringing the ball out, looking for someone with Gavin Admiran fronting him. Gavin's got a strong defensive stick, even though he is the premier attacker for this team. We got Shane McGonigal making a play, trying to disengage Quinn O'Connor, but O'Connor is going to make it across the median and take it down towards the Beacons goal. Otto Kurleis waiting there for his shot, but he is going to feed Garrett Lapham at the top of the key. Lapham waiting to make a play, looking at his options. Beacon swarming. We do have a flag down on the field. Not sure what that is. We will wait to find out. Now we got O'Connor finding. We got a stoppage in play here. Waiting to hear what the call is going to be here. Flag on the field. Still not quite sure what's going on. All right, we got a 30-second foul against Mick Flynn here. So ECSU is going to be man up for 30 seconds as I adjust the clock. Working both jobs here in the booth. All right, we have number 4, Zachary Apollon, taking the ball up top over to Quinn O'Connor. Now down to number 46, Jonathan Bernier, who finds the back of the net. He is a sneaky goal scorer for this Warriors team, and he finds the Warriors' 9th goal of the afternoon with just over 11 minutes to play now in the fourth quarter. So we're going to see another face-off between Jason McNeely and Scott Galbo. McNeely, one of the premier face-off men in all of Division III lacrosse, wins at a very high clip, wins that one right there, secures it pretty easily. A high pass to Luke Murphy goes over the head, and Murphy can't keep it in bounds with the hockey save, so it is going to go to the Warriors. Starting off with Dominic Scarano. Scarano is going to find Shane Haggerty over on the right side. Haggerty bringing it up to the top, waiting for Andrew Pendergast to join him on the offensive end. Pendergast now taking the ball at the top of the key. Pendergast wants to find somebody against the top of the key for Baden Christ. Looking to start something. He's fronted by Carson Mezawer, who is a pest on defense and offense. He goes both ways strong, the freshman. Finds behind the net, teammate number 23. That'll be Shane Haggerty. Haggerty looking, caused turnover, but we have a whistle now on the play. It is going to remain Warriors ball. So we have Dan Barron taking the ball, moving across the top. Ball over to Andrew Pendergast. Pendergast looking around the net. Each of his teammates is fronted by a Beacon. Shot from number 46 is no good. The ball is going to bounce out to Dan Barron, who will pick up the rebound. He is fronted by Luke Murphy in front of the goal. Warriors looking to get a goal out of this possession and cut this lead down to 11. They are currently trailing 21-9 right now. Number 26, Baden Christ, taking the ball, passes it over to Jonathan Bernier. At the top of the key, number 23, Shane Haggerty, fumbled the ball, and now it appears to be Carson Mezawer. Couldn't handle it. And now it is Max Hamilton-Jones with the long pole, picking it up and bringing it across the halfway line himself, passing over to Admiran. Admiran with a high pass, soars over top of Greg Wolf, so that is going to go the opposite way with the Warriors taking over. It is going to be number 2, Dan Barron, taking the ball out of bounds. Giving it to the goalie, Nick Colazzo. Colazzo going to bring it up and out of the goal. Looking for options. He'll take it over the median line himself. He's done that quite a few times today, and nobody seems to really be giving him any trouble. It is now one-on-one, goalie on goalie. Colazzo can't sneak one past Otto Kurleis. That shot goes wide, and Colazzo, who does double time as a goalie and an attacker, got a fortuitous shot there, but couldn't find the back of the net on that play, but is going to stay with the Warriors. Mike Stevenson taking it out from behind, and Otto Kurleis possesses the ball, and he is going to look for Colin Colby. A big play from the Beacons' reliable backup goalie there in Kurleis. Now Nolan Beauregard, the 20-goal scorer now from the freshman class, finding Gavin Admirand, the 300-point scorer on his career, Zach Mann bringing the ball out from behind the net, looking for Connor Smith. Connor Smith, a bit of a quiet afternoon. We can expect to see a lot from him, even if he's not scoring goals, though he has a few assists. That part of his game has really come into its own late in the season. Liam Bowler now looking back to Smith. Greg Wolf, we haven't heard much from him either, but he is a threat. So this second group of Beacon's offensive attackmen is just as scary as the starters. Zach Mann now over to Nolan Beauregard. Back to Mann at the top. Mann trickling over to the side. He is fronted by number 9, Ryan Stocks. Ball now in the stick of Connor Smith. Smith up close. Shot blocked by Colazzo. And at that break in the action, I'll hand the headset back over to Chris.
All right, Max, you're probably not done yet. I'm going to hand it back to you. You probably can close it out. I couldn't find anything, guys, so if you hear me start shivering, I'm sorry. I came unprepared today. Thought about bringing the big blanket up. Luckily, these guys running around on the lacrosse field, they're staying warm. A bit of an offensive spurt here out of ECSU. They have scored 4 of the last 6 goals in this contest, and now with a head full of steam, it's Garrett Lapham back on the attack. We almost just saw a goal there out of the goalie Nick Colazzo. Max just mentioned it. Originally, and coming into this season, he was kind of a halftime attacker, halftime goal. Wow, skying up, but stopping the shot is Max Hamilton-Jones. He completely robbed Mike Stevenson on the doorstep. And so all that about Colazzo. Until this season, stopped splitting his time between attack and goal. He's in net, the man in net, and wanted to vie back to his attacking days and get himself a goal. He almost did just then. Bernier, back up top to Quinn O'Connor. O'Connor over to Lapham. Lapham's pass was intended for Bernier, and those two couldn't hook up on the play. 21-9, the score here. The Beacons outscored here in this fourth quarter 1-2, and ECSU with 4 of the game's last 6 goals. This is Shane McGonigal into the offensive zone. He's working around Dominic Scarano. He got in between everybody and then ultimately gets dispossessed by Lapham, who joined the defensive attack. And that pass not to any Warrior in particular, so we'll go right back the other way. A scoring reset. Shane Hegarty, Jonathan Bernier, Garen Lapham, all with multiple goal games. Bernier with 2. He has 13 on the season. Lapham with 2. He has 19. And Hegarty, he has 4 goals today, bringing his season total up to 8. We'll cover the Beacon scoring momentarily as Gavin Admirant still in the game, still trying to add to his mix. Greg Wolf, back up top to Charlie Chapman, rises, but the save made by Colazzo. That one was right towards the center of the frame. Charlie not able to pick a post or a corner on that one, and Colazzo with the save. But the ball turned over, scooped up out of trouble by Max Hamilton-Jones. He's a freshman. You've seen his confidence grow as the years progressed. Smith, across to Admirant, reaches up and misses that one off the inside post. He skied up to corral it. A lot of points to cover here for the Beacons. Jacob Banks with 9 goals and 2 assists this afternoon. Gavin Admirant, 4 goals. Luke Murphy, 3 assists on the day. And then Zach Mann, a 2-goal, 2-assist performance. 6 other Beacons with 1 goal up to this point. But Jacob Banks, the offensive story, 11 points in this contest. 11 points in one game, 9 goals in one game, both testing single-game records here for the Beacons. Not there yet. Colazzo once again taking on the Beacons defense. He gets around Admirant, but Ford, though, checks it away. Twombly has an open net in front of him. He looks for Ford. Oh, and they might have been better suited just putting that one on net and seeing what happens. Ford turns it over. Cody Brown into the midfield. Cody Brown with the shot, and he misses wide. Stevenson closest to it. It'll stay with the Warriors. 5 minutes left in this contest. Here is ECSU. This game was 10-1 after the first quarter. It looked like the Warriors might have really been in the woodshed today, but instead they've doubled back. The Beacons have outscored them still 11-8 across the remainder of the game, but they've made it much more respectable, and this is a good little team with some talent here, the ECSU Warriors. Max Hamilton-Jones, a great job blocking out the attack from Shane Hegarty and forcing the turn. No, pardon me. Tipped out by the Beaks. So it will stay with ECSU. 50 on the shot clock. Zachary Apollone. 2 assists today for the junior out of Stamford. Cut off, though, by Chapman. Very nice play by Charlie, fighting on the defensive side of the field. Jump shot and a save made by Otto Kierleys. He's looked phenomenal in this, his 4th quarter of action. He's only allowed 1. This is Stevenson. He's a true freshman. Seeing him get involved more and more in this offensive attack as both the season and this particular game has advanced. That pass almost behind Shane Hegarty. He's on it. Hegarty, Lapham, and Apollone, probably the 3 most dangerous distributors on the team, and Apollone just throws it away. Another unforced error. That was the problem in the 1st quarter for ECSU. It continues as we're here in the 4th quarter. 29 turnovers committed by the Warriors. 20, though, committed by the Beaks. Three and a half minutes left in the contest as ECSU fighting valiantly to keep this game close. Connor Smith going to draw the penalty flag there against Sean Anderson. And so now Smith, the Beacons more than content to just let this clock wind on down. Smith with 1 goal today. You got to think he wants to get a second. Wolf back to Beauregard. Beauregard gets checked, but he keeps his dodge alive. Remember, we still have a delayed penalty on the field right here. The second unit generating a look. Bowler shot and scores! Liam Bowler for the 2nd time today and the 8th time this season. And there's going to be a penalty against ETSU. Both of the 4th quarter goals scored by Liam Bowler. He has 21 points on the season now, and the Beacons up 13. The Beacons up 13 to score 22-9. We also have a slashing penalty against Sean Anderson, and this seems like a great opportunity to give the headset back to Mr. Clifford. Max, you got 2:57. Take it away.
My pleasure, Chris. I'd love to finish off this game, which looks to be a big win for the Beacons to get back on track after losing a couple of Little East Conference games, which is very uncharacteristic for them. We've mentioned a few times over the last 3 seasons, one of which was very abbreviated. They did not lose a conference game in the regular season or the postseason. So dropping games to WestCon and Keene is discouraging, but this is a big win over EastCon, which will carry them into their final game of the season and hopefully into the LEC tournament.
That's 5 minutes.
We have 1 minute, a penalty against,
So sorry to take the mic from you. That is going to be the 5th penalty against Ryan Stocks. He has just been disqualified from this game. So wanted to keep you guys updated on that. They just told us that in the booth. He was, sorry to hop in here, this is your role, Max, but he was the best on-ball defender today for ECSU, and he's not on the field for the final 2.5 minutes. Back to you, sorry.
Thank you for that context, Chris. I did not realize Stocks has been in the penalty box a lot. He's been hanging out with us over here, and that is not something that you see often. But when a player is playing some intense defense all day long, he's going to draw some penalty flags. And now not able to re-enter this game, which just it hurts for EastCon. But this is, at the end of a game where the Beacons had a big game on offense, and now with Zach Mann behind the net, he's looking for Nolan Beauregard. Beauregard wanted a goal on that one, couldn't quite get it. A wide shot to the left. Beauregard with just a very fast shot that I have to imagine is intimidating for goalies, but Collazo's been facing it well today from all of the Beacons attackers. Adrian Filosh getting his first action of the day finds Colin Ford over to Zach Mann. Mann on the left side of the goal, taking his time, passes over to Greg Wolf. They've tried some shots. It's not. There's a goal from Mick Flynn. That is a big one from number 22 on his senior day. His 13th of the season. Thank you, Chris. Just a big contributor off the bench, one of many for this Beacons offense. And Mick Flynn with a big goal here to put the Beacons up 23-9. So a big gap gets even bigger for the Beacons here on the senior day at James Cotter Field. And we are going to see a little bit of Jack DeFalco Wheeler, the 3rd face-off man for the Beacons. They have all been excellent this season. In limited time, Jack DeFalco Wheeler has been statistically almost as good as McNeely and Lucosi. We are going to see what he can do here against the ECU face-off man. And it looks to be one. The ball is still loose, and that is picked up by Adrian Filosh. and it is going to go back to the Warriors. So we have number 13, Oliver Searle, waiting on, another whistle. The ball, there appears to be a discussion going on. And not sure what that discussion was, but the ball will stay with the Warriors. Back over to Colazzo, and he will find number 24, Cody Brown. Brown over to number 13, Oliver Searle. Searle finding a teammate in Quinn O'Connor. O'Connor looking backwards. That ball is going to be deflected and picked up by number 25, Garrett Lapham. Lapham working his way over to Dan Barron. Barron charging towards the net. He definitely wants to take a shot here, and that ball just intercepted a pass. Was Otto Kurleis. Kurleis was expecting a shot, grabbed a pass instead, and now Kurleis finds Patrick Colburn. Kurleis looking downfield, finds Shane McGonigal. McGonigal struggling with it, fumbled it a bit, but Max Hamilton-Jones picks it up, and he's going to try to move it across the median line. Not quite there yet. Back over to McGonigal. McGonigal now going to find Owen Gallagher. Oh, he will not. The pass will be intercepted, but it was flicked back over to Patrick Colburn, who is now going to find Justin McCullough. McCullough finished the successful clear, but we have an offsides penalty, it looks to be. So the ball is going to go back to the Warriors and hand to Dominic Serrano. Now over to Quinn O'Connor. O'Connor going to find number 46, Jonathan Bernard. They have both been heavily involved in this offense all day long. Bernard, a threat with the ball in his net. He is going to drive. Can't find an opening with Owen Gallagher fronting him. The shot from number 25, Garrett Lapham, goes wide right, but it is going to remain Warriors' ball, it appears. So they're going to get one more shot to have a look at the net, and I apologize for the clock. I've not been keeping up with that side of my job at the moment. It looks to be some chaos behind the net. Otto Kurleis is out of net. Got there in a hurry to make sure that there was not an open net for the Warriors. We got number 23 in Shane Haggerty now looking over to Barron. Barron at the top of the key wants to get something started. Pass over to Quinn O'Connor, goes wide right, and another clock malfunction here. We have about 6 seconds left on the clock, about 6 seconds left to play. So the Warriors are going to try to maybe get one more shot off. They have been trying to score one here. They want to get to double digits, but it's not looking like they will have the time. One more try from Dan Barron, and the final horn sounds. Otto Kurleis stood tall in his fourth quarter of work, and the Beacons offense put it in all day long. 23 goals out of the Beacons. They do that a lot. A lot of 20-goal performances this season, and as we get ready to give you the final stats, I am going to hand you over to Chris Del Sordo to give you his final thoughts before we get the stats up on screen.
All right, there's one name, 2 words you need to know today. Jacob Banks. 9 goals. He could have won the game by himself if he wanted to. We're going to throw to a break. I'm not going to force Max to hustle up too much here. We're not going far. When we come back, the game's final numbers and a final scoring summary. A senior day to remember for the 2023 Beaks as the Beacons move to 10-6 on the season. And with the loss, ECSU moves to 5-10. We'll be right back here to close it on out on Senior Day on the Beacon Broadcasting Network. All right. One heck of a job by Max Clifford today. Fills in twice for play-by-play, kept the ball rolling here on the director status all game long. It was a solid win for the Beacons. I'll be honest, Max, you would agree with this. Not the most impressive win that we've seen out of the Beacons, but you can never get upset when you win by 2 touchdowns. The final score today, Beacons 23, Warriors 9. ECSU, to their credit, hell of a job getting shots off today. They shot 42 times, and they were able to get, let me do some quick math here, 25 on target. So that's much better than we normally see against the Beacons' opponent. A more efficient route today on offense for the Beaks, 59 shots, 23 goals for Nick Colazzo. He made 17 saves by himself, so a solid individual effort for the senior goalie out of Park Ridge, New Jersey. The Beacons, in the face-off circle, they dominated yet again. They win 22 out of 23, and this was a sloppy game. 31 turnovers committed by ECSU, 20 committed by the Beacons. Told you that we'd cover the final stats here momentarily. 2 players with big games for the Warriors. Shane Hegarty, 4 goals this afternoon. He brings his season total up to 8. And both Garrett Lapham and Jonathan Bernier, each with impressive 2-goal performances. Garrett Lapham with 3 assists to his name as well. For the Beacons, we mentioned Jacob Banks carrying the load offensively with 9 goals and 2 assists. And fellow seniors, Jacob isn't one of them, but 2 seniors, Gavin Admiran and Zach Mann, following it up. 4 goals for Admiran, 2 goals and 2 assists for Zach Mann. And that does it for us here in the regular season. Playoff lacrosse coming in about 10 days, 2 Tuesdays from now. Congratulations to Coach Lowe as he picks up his 5th conference win of the season. And Max, 1 game left in the regular season. It's a road contest at Castleton. Right now it looks like the Beacons are snugly secured in the 3 seed. That could potentially change. It probably won't. We won't expect it. If it does, we'll keep you guys filled in. But for right now, the game plan is Tuesday, March 4th, a quarterfinal game as a 3 seed. That's what we think we're looking at. Who it's going to be against, we don't know. We can't speculate. But join us then. It'll be an afternoon contest on Tuesday, May 4th, as we get into the LEC Conference playoffs. For one last time, for Max Clifford, my name is Chris Del Sordo. Thanks for joining us on the Beacon Broadcasting Network. A 14-goal win on